First contact fallout. The massive viewing windows of the diplomatic shuttle revealed the Nexus in all its glory. A colossal space station that resembled a gleaming silver lotus with unfurled petals stretching kilometers wide. Dr. Maya Chen stood transfixed, her reflection superimposed over the approaching marvel of alien engineering. At 42, she had become Earth's foremost xenolinguist, the woman who had deciphered 17 alien languages from mere signal fragments. Now, she would be the first human to address the Galactic Consortium in person. Quite the sight, isn't it? Admiral Takashi Yamamoto said, joining her at the viewport. His weathered face remained impassive, but Maya had known him long enough to recognize the tension in his shoulders. It's beautiful, Maya admitted, adjusting the collar of her formal blue diplomatic uniform. The silver oak leaf emblem of Earth's United Nations Space Command caught the light. I just hope they find us equally impressive. Remember, Doctor, your mission is to secure observer status, nothing more. We're walking into a room with species who have been spacefaring for millennia. Humility serves us here. Maya nodded, though a hint of defiance flashed in her dark eyes. Humanity had accomplished in decades what took other species centuries. 16 years after discovering the alien signal that changed everything, Earth had unified, developed FTL travel, and established colonies on 3 exoplanets. The consortium had noticed, hence this invitation. The shuttle docked with a barely perceptible shudder. Maya took a deep breath as the airlock cycled, releasing the scent of something like cinnamon and ozone. Alien air purification systems. The welcoming party consisted of 3 distinctly different species. The tallest, a willowy being with 4 arms and iridescent skin, stepped forward. Dr. Chen, I am Valor, Chief Protocol Officer for the consortium. These are representatives Anix Toth of the Arcturian Collective and Zern of the Eridani Conclave. The translator implant behind Maya's ear rendered Valor's musical language into perfect English. Maya bowed slightly. The people of Earth are honored by your welcome. Anix Toth's 6 eyes blinked in sequence, a gesture Maya recognized from her studies as skepticism. The squat, amphibious alien made a gurgling sound. Your species advances with concerning haste, Dr. Chen. Many find this unsettling. We are eager students of the universe, Maya replied diplomatically. Our curiosity drives us. Indeed, Zern interjected, mandibles clicking. The insectoid alien's carapace gleamed under the station's lights. One wonders what else it might drive you to. The undercurrent of hostility was unmistakable, but Maya maintained her composure as they were escorted through the station. The corridor opened into a vast atrium teeming with representatives from dozens of species. Some appeared almost human, others defied categorization entirely. Many turned to stare as the human delegation passed. The council will convene in 3 station cycles, Valor explained. You will be afforded quarters and may familiarize yourself with the Nexus. Public areas are marked in universal signage. As the delegation settled into their assigned quarters, Admiral Yamamoto called a briefing. Initial observations. He asked the small team of specialists. Dr. Elias Cohen, xenobiologist, spoke first. At least 30 distinct species present, Admiral. Most appear to be oxygen brothers, though I noted several methane-based life forms in environmental suits. Security assessment. Yamamoto turned to Commander Saradias. Minimal visible weapons, but sensor scans detected multiple energy signatures consistent with defensive technologies. The station itself appears to be a fortress disguised as a diplomatic hub. Maya frowned. There's something else. The language patterns I'm detecting. There's subtext I'm not fully grasping yet, particularly from the Arcturian representative. That evening, Maya couldn't sleep. She left her quarters, drawn to the central observatory where various delegates mingled. She stood before the massive window, gazing at the star field beyond, when a voice spoke behind her. The void looks back, Dr. Chen. She turned to find a tall avian being with feathers that shimmered with bioluminescence. I am Cortal of the Proximan Alliance. The alien introduced himself. You are the human linguist. I am, Maya confirmed, though apparently not skilled enough to read between the lines here. Cortal's head tilted in what Maya interpreted as amusement. Perceptive. You sense the currents against you. Are we that unwelcome? You are that feared, Cortal replied, lowering his voice. Humanity achieved in decades what took my people millennia. You adapted technologies you discovered from our transmissions and improved upon them in ways we could not anticipate. Is innovation a crime in the consortium? No, but disruption is viewed with suspicion. The elder species, the founders, they prefer stability. Maya studied the alien carefully. Why tell me this? Because my people were once where yours are now. Newcomers, advancing quickly. We were restrained. A chill ran down Maya's spine. What do you mean, restrained? The Grand Council convenes tomorrow. I suggest you prepare your words carefully, Dr. Chen. Cortal turned to leave, then paused. And perhaps consider alternatives should diplomacy fail. Maya returned to the human quarters immediately, waking Admiral Yamamoto. I believe we're walking into something much more complex than a simple diplomatic recognition, she explained, recounting her conversation. Could be misdirection, Yamamoto suggested. Trying to put us off balance. Sir, with respect, my linguistic analysis of their communications patterns suggests concealment. There are significant discrepancies between their formal diplomatic transmissions and their informal discussions. The next morning, Maya stood before a massive circular chamber. 3 concentric rings of seats rose around a central platform where she would stand. The uppermost tier held what she presumed were the founders, ancient species that had formed the consortium millennia ago. Dr. Maya Chen of Earth announced a resonant voice as she stepped onto the platform. You speak for humanity before the Grand Council. Maya looked up at the assembled delegates, feeling the weight of her entire species on her shoulders. Esteemed representatives of the Galactic Consortium, she began, her voice steady. Humanity comes before you not as conquerors or disruptors, but as explorers and learners. We seek to join this community of worlds, to share knowledge, and to grow together in understanding. She continued, presenting Earth's achievements, their peaceful resolution of once divisive conflicts, their artistic and scientific contributions. As she spoke, she watched the reactions, the subtle shifts in posture, the exchanged glances, the biochemical signals her enhanced senses could detect. Humanity is young, she acknowledged, and we have much to learn. But we believe we also have much to offer. We request observer status within the consortium as we continue to demonstrate our commitment to galactic peace and cooperation. A heavy silence followed her words before the central figure in the highest tier rose. A being of seemingly pure energy contained within a crystalline shell. It glowed with internal light. The words are well crafted, human, it said, voice echoing oddly. Yet actions reveal more than words. Your kind has taken technologies you were not meant to discover and advanced them beyond their intended purpose. Maya frowned. With respect, Elder, technology itself has no intended purpose. It is a tool, shaped by its user's intentions. A murmur ran through the assembly at her gentle rebuke. And what are humanity's intentions? Asked another founder, a massive being that seemed composed of living stone. Your military vessels outnumber your exploration ships 3-1. A defensive posture, Maya countered. We emerged into a galaxy unknown to us, with potential threats we couldn't predict. Including us, the crystalline being asked pointedly. Maya paused, choosing her next words carefully. We hope not. The subtle tension in the room suddenly crystallized into something tangible. Maya felt it, a shift in the atmosphere, in the postures of the delegates. The council will deliberate, announced the crystalline being. You will await our decision. As Maya was escorted from the chamber, she caught sight of Cortal. The avian alien's feathers had darkened, a warning sign, she realized too late. Back in the human quarters, Maya's unease grew. "Something's happening," she told Yamamoto. The delegates' biochemical signatures showed stress patterns consistent with premeditated deception. Before Yamamoto could respond, their door slid open. Valor stood there, flanked by what were clearly security drones. "Dr. Chen, the Council requests your immediate presence." When Maya entered the chamber again, the atmosphere had changed completely. Gone was the diplomatic formality, replaced by a palpable hostility. "Dr. Maya Chen," the crystalline elder announced, "evidence has been presented that Earth has deployed prohibited weaponry in the Sirius sector, planet-cracking technology tested on an uninhabited world." Maya's blood ran cold. "That's impossible. We have no such technology." "The evidence is conclusive," continued the elder. "Furthermore, encrypted communications intercepted from your vessel indicate plans to reverse engineer consortium defense systems." Maya realized with horror what was happening. They were being framed, set up for whatever came next. "This is fabricated," she stated firmly. "I demand to see this alleged evidence." "You are not in a position to demand anything," said the stone-like founder. "The consortium has ruled. Earth represents a direct threat to galactic stability." A containment field sprang up around Maya, trapping her on the central platform. "This is an execution, not a trial," she realized aloud, her voice echoing through the suddenly silent chamber. "A demonstration," corrected the crystalline being. "To your people and any others who would disrupt our order." Maya's mind raced. The implant behind her ear. It wasn't just a translator, but a quantum entangled transmitter, sending everything back to Earth in real time. They would see whatever happened next. As energy began to build around the containment field, Maya straightened her spine and looked directly at the recording drones hovering nearby. "People of Earth," she said clearly, "they fear us not because we are violent, but because we represent change they cannot control. Remember this moment, but do not let it define you. Show them who we really are." The field around her began to glow, heat building to unbearable levels. Maya refused to scream as her uniform began to smolder. Through the pain, she maintained eye contact with the cameras, her expression one of defiance rather than fear. "You've made a terrible miscalculation," were her final words as the field erupted into plasma, consuming her body in white-hot fire. As Maya Chen's ashes settled on the platform, the crystalline elder addressed the recording drones. "Let this serve as warning to Earth and all emerging species. The consortium maintains order. Disruption will not be tolerated." What none of them realized was that the quantum transmitter continued functioning even after Maya's death, broadcasting every moment back to Earth, where humanity watched in horror and mounting fury. Humanity unbound. "Sir, we've lost Dr. Chen's signal." The words fell into a horrified silence at Earth's Deep Space Command. General Victor Okafor stared at the main screen where, moments before, they had watched Maya Chen burn alive. His dark face was expressionless, but his hands gripped the situation table with such force that his knuckles had turned white. "Verification?" he asked, his voice dangerously calm. "Quantum signature terminated, sir, but the feed, it continued for 6.2 seconds after biological termination. We received everything." Admiral Yamamoto and the rest of the Earth delegation had been detained immediately after Maya's execution. The consortium hadn't even bothered to fabricate charges against them. They were simply hostages now, insurance against Earth's retaliation. President Ileana Rodriguez addressed an emergency session of the United Earth Security Council from Geneva. Her normally warm features were hardened by grief and rage. "They murdered our ambassador in cold blood," she stated. "An act of barbarism dressed up as justice. This was no trial. It was an execution meant to intimidate us into submission." Defense Secretary Quayne Nkrumah stepped forward. "Madam President, the Avalon Protocol is ready for implementation at your command." A heavy silence fell over the room. The Avalon Protocol had been developed in secret over the past decade, a contingency plan for exactly this scenario. It required unanimous approval from all Earth nations. President Rodriguez looked at each council member in turn. We sought peace. We extended friendship. They responded with murder. Are we united in our response? One by one, the representatives voiced their assent. There were no abstentions. Then God help us all, Rodriguez said quietly. Activate Avalon Protocol. Across the solar system, military installations hummed with sudden activity. Ships that had been hidden in underground bases on Mars and Jupiter's moons emerge. Orbital defense platforms that appeared to be routine space stations reconfigured into weapon systems. Commander Eli Reeves stood on the bridge of the EFS Nemesis, Earth's most advanced warship. At 38, he was considered one of Earth's finest tacticians, though he had hoped never to test those skills in actual combat. All systems online, Commander, reported Lieutenant Commander Aisha Kazemi, his second in command. The fleet is assembled and awaiting final coordinates. On the main view screen, 60 ships of Earth's hidden fleet moved into formation. Destroyers, cruisers, and specialized assault craft that had been developed using reverse-engineered alien technology. We're really doing this, Reeves said quietly. Going to war against an enemy thousands of years more advanced than us. They think we're thousands of years behind them, Kazemi reminded him. That's our advantage. Earth had maintained a careful facade for years. While openly displaying only modest technological advancement, they had secretly developed systems far beyond what the consortium believed possible. The quantum entanglement drives that powered their ships allowed them to bypass the standard jump gates the consortium controlled. Battle group assembled, sir, reported Tactical Officer Lai. Stealth systems active and functioning at optimal levels. Commander Reeves accessed the command channel. All ships, this is Commander Reeves. Today we deliver humanity's answer to those who think they can murder our people with impunity. Our primary objective is the Nexus Station, specifically the council chambers and military installations. Secondary objectives are the recovery of our detained personnel. Civilian casualties are to be minimized. The fleet disappeared from normal space, using the quantum drives to fold space-time around them, a technology the consortium didn't know humans had developed. They reappeared near the Nexus, their arrival completely undetected by the station's sensor grid. The massive structure rotated serenely, its defenders unaware of what approached. Target locked, announced Lieutenant Lai. Precision systems ready. Fire, ordered Reeves. From the Nemesis, a beam of concentrated energy struck the Nexus with surgical precision, cutting through the upper section that housed the council chambers. Simultaneously, other ships disabled the station's defensive systems and communication arrays. Boarding teams deploy, Reeves commanded. Remember, we're here for our people first, justice second. As armored shuttles launched toward the crippled station, the consortium finally responded. Defense ships emerged from hidden bays, opening fire on the Earth fleet. Evasive maneuvers, Reeves ordered calmly. Return fire. Targeted systems only. The battle that followed demonstrated why the founders had feared humanity's potential. Earth ships moved with a coordination and adaptability that confounded the consortium vessels. Their weapons systems, developed in secret, penetrated shields that had been considered impregnable. On the station, chaos reigned. Commander Diaz led the boarding team through corridors filled with panicked aliens. Her squad moved with precision, neutralizing security drones and bypassing civilian areas. Admiral Yamamoto's transponder signal located, reported a sergeant. Detention level, Section 47. They found the Earth delegation in sealed cells. Admiral Yamamoto looked up as the door to his cell disintegrated. Took you long enough, Commander, he said dryly. Traffic was hell, sir, Diaz replied, helping him to his feet. Back on the Nemesis, Reeves monitored the situation. Boarding team has secured our people. Extraction underway. Primary target is crippled but still operational. The view screen showed the council chamber, now exposed to space, but protected by emergency force fields. Inside, the founders were being evacuated. Sir, Lieutenant Kazemi said urgently, We're detecting unusual energy readings from the station core. They're initiating some kind of self-destruct sequence. Reeves's eyes narrowed. They'd destroy their own station, with thousands of their people still aboard. Before he could process this, a new signal appeared on the tactical display. "Unknown vessel approaching," reported Lai. "Configuration doesn't match any known consortium design." The ship that appeared dwarfed even the largest Earth vessel. Its hull seemed to shift and change, almost organic in its movements. "We're being hailed," Kazemi said, sounding surprised. The view screen changed to show Kortal, the avian alien who had warned Maya. "Commander Reeves," he said, "I represent the Resistance, species who have suffered under founder dominance. We've been waiting for a catalyst. You have provided it." "You knew what they planned for Dr. Chen," Reeves accused. "We suspected, but could not prevent it without revealing ourselves. Her sacrifice will not be in vain." Kortal's feathers rippled with emotion. "The founders are attempting to destroy the station rather than lose control. We can prevent this, but need your assistance." Reeves made his decision quickly. "What do you need from us?" "A distraction," Kortal replied. "Keep their defensive systems occupied while we deploy our countermeasure." As Earth ships engaged the remaining consortium vessels, Kortal's massive ship positioned itself near the station's core. Energy tendrils extended from it, penetrating the Nexus's shielding. "The self-destruct sequence has been neutralized," reported Lai. "Station power systems are stabilizing." On the station, the boarding team had fought their way to the emergency council chamber where the surviving founders had gathered. Commander Dias and her squad breached the final security door to find the crystalline elder who had ordered Maya's execution. "You should have killed us when you had the chance," Dias told the alien coldly, training her weapon on its crystalline shell. "Then you would prove us right about your violent nature," the elder replied. "What will you do now, human? Execute me as you claim we executed your diplomat?" Admiral Yamamoto stepped forward. "No, we're not like you. You will stand trial, a real trial, for crimes against sentient beings, not just for Dr. Chen, but for all the species you've restrained over the millennia." The battle outside had turned decisively in Earth's favor as more ships belonging to Kortal's resistance joined the fight, targeting specific consortium vessels. Commander Reeves opened a channel to all ships. "This is Commander Reeves of Earth. The consortium leadership has been secured. All consortium vessels, stand down or be destroyed." One by one, the remaining consortium ships powered down their weapons. On the Nemesis's bridge, Kortal appeared via hologram. "Commander, the Resistance thanks you. For generations, we have waited for a species with both the will and capability to challenge the founders. Today marks the beginning of a new galactic order." "What happens now?" Reeves asked. "Now," said Kortal, "we rebuild. Not an empire or a hierarchy, but a true federation of equals. Will Earth join us?" In Geneva, President Rodriguez watched the transmission from the Nemesis. The Security Council had remained in emergency session throughout the battle. "We came seeking friendship," she said, addressing both her council and the alien resistance leader. "That offer stands, but on equal terms. No more hidden agendas, no more restraining of emerging species. True cooperation or nothing." Kortal's feathers brightened, a sign of agreement. "Then let us begin again, properly this time." 3 months later, on the rebuilt central platform of the Nexus, a new gathering took place. Representatives from Earth stood alongside delegates from dozens of formerly suppressed species. The crystalline elder and other surviving founders stood in a containment field, awaiting transport to their trial. President Rodriguez addressed the assembly. "Today we remember Dr. Maya Chen, whose sacrifice exposed the corruption at the heart of the old order. In her honor, we establish the Chen Accords, ensuring that no species shall ever again be judged unworthy of equality based on their rate of advancement or their potential to disrupt an unjust status quo." As the new Galactic Federation took its first steps, humanity found itself not just accepted but respected, even feared by some. Yet they worked to prove Maya's final words, to show who they really were. Not conquerors, but partners. Not disruptors, but innovators. And throughout the galaxy, the story spread of how the execution of a single human diplomat had led to the liberation of countless worlds, and how humanity, when pushed to its limits, had proven itself a force that even the oldest species in the galaxy could not contain.